Okay, y'all, so this is a podcast episode that I've honestly been wanting to record for a while, but I was like, this is not what they come to me for. But here's the truth. Here is the cotton picking truth, y'all. This is something that I have used in my business extensively and extremely often and seen it work really, really well when I do use it. And you may get a little squeamish about this topic. I don't really care because as a business owner, even if you're not a woman, this is something that you need. You need to understand and you need to know because it will so greatly impact how you perform in your business if you're a woman, or how the women in your business work for you if you're a man running a business and employing women. So without further ado, I'm going to teach you how I create content according to my cycle. Yes, I said it. And this is truly a game changer. So listen in, take notes. If this is not something you've ever thought of before or heard before, get ready because I'm going to teach it to you. I'm going to teach it to you in a really practical way. So let's dig in. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing. Do you want to grow your business with sustainable traffic sources? Have you heard about the power of search engine optimization and you want to take advantage of it to get more traffic, more eyeballs on your business? But when it comes down to it, does SEO feel complicated and hard to implement? Are you tired of wondering what in the heck to do with your website to get more traffic and more leads knocking on your door? What if I could tell you that there was a simple, proven system for using SEO, blogging, and copywriting to get leads from your website, and not just any leads, high converting leads. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, wife, mama, copywriter, SEO strategist, and barrel racer. And for the last 8 years, I've been figuring out what works and what doesn't work in the world of online marketing to get organic traffic. And now I'm here to share all the things I'm learning in the trenches of SEO, copywriting, and content marketing. How does 300%, 500%, or even 12,000% more traffic in a year sound? What could your business do with that kind of traffic increase? How many more people could you help? So listen in and prepare to take notes. I'm about to drop simple, actionable SEO marketing and copywriting tips, all with a heavy dose of Jesus-loving encouragement. Let's get you more traffic and more leads so you can help more people with your God-given gifts. Okay, so I know you probably did not come to a podcast titled Simple SEO and Marketing expecting to hear about the 4 phases of a woman's cycle and how you can capitalize on that to create better content faster. But you're here, and I want you to hear this because it's really going to help you. So for a little bit of background, for a little bit of context before you're like, making weird noises like we're 12, because we are still 12 inside sometimes. Before you get into that, I need to give you a lot of background. So I am pretty darn crunchy, but I don't teach crunchy things in my business, okay? I'm pretty darn crunchy, had my babies at home. We eat super clean. I go to a natural doctor who tells me what supplements to take, and we are absolutely thriving health-wise. Praise the Lord. And I'm so thankful that my family, we have made the choices that we've made to take really good care of our bodies and be good stewards of what God has given us. But as a woman, I have had to figure out a lot of hacks to help my body flourish. So for context, I have either been pregnant or breastfeeding for 9 years. My oldest kid is 9. So almost 10 years, right? 9.5 years. Okay. I have been either pregnant or breastfeeding for, oh my gosh, almost 10 years, which sounds really wild to say, but it is what it is. If I was a cow, I'd be a keeper. But that's a lot on a body. And so I have had to figure out how to take really good care of myself and how to support my body in my business and what I do, and how to help myself work with my body in all of that. And so A few years ago, I started learning about what's called cycle syncing. And cycle syncing is simply the process of trying to align what you do with where your body is in its cycle for women, where your body is in its cycle for menstruating women. Now, some of the teaching out there on this is pretty woo-woo and wacky, and I'm like, well, not about that, y'all know. But there is a lot of I'm like, God made a woman's body to be like this. God made a woman's body to go through these phases and these cycles. So surely there's a way to capitalize on that and not just be miserable. And cycle syncing is something that, if you really look into it, it's actually really cool how a woman's hormones and her brain is optimized for different types of tasks during different phases of her cycle. And while this can be extremely annoying for me at times, I've tried really hard to lean into it and be like, you know what, Lord, you're helping me to have a more balanced month overall by being better at certain things during certain times of the month. So from a business content creation perspective, I'm going to teach you what I have done and I've seen work again and again and again and again. But I have to teach you a little bit about all of the things behind it so that it makes sense. So the way that I outline this in my brain may be a little bit differently than you have heard it outlined before. I read a book called Cycle Syncing by Alyssa Vitti. And she breaks the cycle down into 4 phases, okay? Follicular, ovulation, luteal, and menstrual. Most people are just familiar with the menstrual phase when a woman is bleeding or not bleeding if she's just found out she's pregnant. But the way that this book breaks it down and the way that I've broken this down in my content creation, a lot of people will think that menstrual is the first phase. The way that I've broken it down in my brain really doesn't matter, is that follicular is the first phase, which starts the day that the bleeding stops. So phase 1, follicular, think of it like springtime. Okay. Phase 2, ovulation, think of it like summertime. Phase 3 is luteal. Think of it like fall. And phase 4 is menstrual. Think of it like winter. And so when it comes to creating content, and I talked last episode about batching content, when it comes to creating content, I figured out how to work with my cycle in the content creation so that it's easier. I'm not working against myself. Now, if you are listening to this and you are a man and you have women on your team, I want you to still listen, because this is going to help you to help the people on your team better. Maybe it's something that you send to them. Maybe you can switch up how you do your content. If you are a woman, I need you to lean into this and I need you to start paying attention to all of these things for yourself. So full disclaimer here. You may be a little bit different in some of these things. You need to pay attention to you and your body and your cycle and what things you notice throughout your cycle, and just take note of it, okay? So I have found that follicular phase, feel like springtime, right? Think springtime. Follicular phase is fantastic for planning content, for planning anything in my business, for planning anything in my life. Follicular phase, rock on. I will plan, right? In follicular phase, you tend to have more of a vision and more like a springy, oh, I can do this outlook on life. And so for your content creation, just like we talked about batching last week, for content creation, follicular phase is when I love to batch plan content. It's when I like to plan launches. It's when I like to plan emails. It's when I like to plan about anything. But follicular phase is when that works the best for me. My brain is super optimized for that, and it's fun for me in this phase. And that's something that I found is really indicative of whether it's the timing is ideal or not, is does this thing feel fun, okay? Or less horrible than normal, right? Like cleaning toilets never feels fun, okay? But there's even a time when it feels less horrible than normal, okay? Now, phase 2 is ovulation, which, remember, is like summertime. Ovulation is when you are most awesome at networking, at talking to people, at being fun. Okay. The world is your oyster. The world is my oyster, I guess, at least during ovulation. And so that's when I love to record. I love to create like webinars, or to network, or to pitch to people, or like do extra things that involve peopling. Lots of talking in ovulation phase, okay? From the mom perspective, during follicular phase and ovulation phase, I love to go do lots of fun things with my kids. Okay. Those are the weeks that I'm like, yeah, let's plan a party. Let's have the party right now. Okay. Because my brain and my hormones are optimized for that during follicular and especially during ovulation. Now, luteal phase in my world, I have luteal phase broken down into early luteal phase tasks and late luteal phase tasks, because luteal phase is about 2 weeks of a 4-week cycle. Follicular and ovulation take up the first 2 weeks, and then luteal phase, well, my luteal phase takes up about a week and a half, and then menstrual phase takes up a few days too. So I know, more than you ever wanted to know about me, but here we are. We're here now, friends. So luteal phase tasks, luteal phase is when you're thinking about like nesting before a baby comes, before you have a baby. Nesting phase, like you're getting crap done, checking things off your to-do list, you kicking butt and taking names on your task list. That's luteal phase. So for me, luteal phase is actually really great. I'm really great at writing quickly during luteal phase. So when I talk about batch working, y'all, I am writing like a machine during early luteal phase. And then I like to upload and optimize during the last part of luteal phase, because that just worked really well for me. So luteal phase is really good for knocking things off your to-do list. If you have to just have a bunch of tasks in your content marketing that's like, oh, I've been putting this off. Luteal phase is a really great time to knock those out, because your brain is optimized to like nest and prepare for the next phase, which is menstrual phase. And for me, honestly, that looks like a lot of rest. That looks like a minimum amount of work the first couple days of menstrual phase. But menstrual phase also, phase 4 in my world, I also do a lot of reflecting, a lot of resting, and then analyzing. So in your content creation, I really want you to listen to the last episode, like re-listen to the batch work part. And then I want you to try to plan out a month of content creation or more according to your cycle. So follicular phase, planning and dreaming, plan that stuff out. Okay. Definitely want to outline when you're planning if you have the idea already. During ovulation phase, talk it out, write it out, do all of your networking that you can possibly do, record podcasts, record YouTube videos. Okay. Phase 3, your luteal phase. You might need to break that into like early and late luteal phase to really fully optimize that. And then phase 4, lots of resting and reflecting. So I know that that's really high level and maybe not what you ever thought you would hear here, but if that helps you, I would love to hear more about it. Shoot me an email over to info@faithhannon.com, because I think it's so fun to take what's working and make it work even better, and to make it work in a way that it feels like less work, or at least less sucky work. So excited to chat with you next week, and thank you all so much for tuning in. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend, and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting, can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.